So carrying on my last video, and sorry if there's any noise in my background. I've got the fan heater on because it's cold. So yeah, in the last video I said that I said needed to have a break, and this is the first time I actually did that in the whole time that I knew this girl, knew how she was now, and so she invited me round to hers because I sent it late at night, I think, and I went to hers the next day. And we had a chat because I was not happy with the way things were. And to be quite honest with you, I really wanted an out at that point. Because there was no physical stuff between me and her, despite going out for a year or so. And not long before this point that I'm about to mention, she was getting very friendly with one of the teachers at school. And she was like, oh my god, I'd like to do him and stuff like that. I'm not sure whether she said those exact words to me, but something along those lines, like stuff that would get you jealous. And there was one point that says I love you, and then I can't remember whether it was this same instance just after I said it or whether she just said it out randomly. But she said to me, as her boyfriend, I love someone. This was mentioned in the conversation that we had after I said I need a break. And I think either her sister overheard it, was in the room, or I told her. Either way, she knew about it. And she brought it up during this conversation because I needed a sister there to mediate. I needed someone there. Not necessarily as backup, but so that there's actually someone to hear all this stuff as opposed to her, because she could say one thing and then say something completely different after. I mean, her sister could have said something completely different after, but at least there was witness, regardless of who. So at the very least, if there was an argument between Charlotte and I, at least the sister was there to say, okay, I get your point. Because now look, I'm an only child, but I get the fact of, even though you love someone, you still need to say, look, you're being an absolute git. You know, cut it out. So that's what family, friends, or whatever do to you. They are there to support you, but at the same time, if you go too far, you go too far. Anyway, so I think either I or her sister said, look, it's been a year or so, man. We're not even kissed. Not properly. Not like in a normal way that couples do. It was just a peck on the lips at the first time, and then there was nothing, and that's one of the things that is wrong between us. And then, so we did. Her sister was there to like, okay, Charlotte, fucking kiss him, or let him kiss you. So we did. And the thing is, I kind of went like, what? And then she went, oh, at me. And then, because she took it further than what I was doing, I stuck my tongue in her mouth. And it was like, too far. Like, hang on. You instigated doing a bit more. Yet when I put tongue in your mouth, that's too much. Again, after a freaking year. I know I'm a bloke, and I guess if anyone watches this who's a SJW or whatever, you're going to accuse me for being toxic male, rape, and all the rest of it. Fucking wasn't. I backed right off when you said no. But it's like, are you freaking kidding? Over the coming months, it was, yeah, we did more. We did more stuff. We didn't do it, but we did more. To the point where we was doing that kind of stuff all the time when no one was around, which was great. Finally, after all I went through, yeah, finally. The interpersonal wasn't still great, but it was better than it was. Anyway, she kept going on about this teacher at school. And the thing is, she's 15 years old. And he was gotta be 40. They were getting closer. And she was kind of teasing me about it. And I can't remember how we split up the last time, but it was just like, I knew at that point that was it. I'd had enough. I can't remember whether she dumped me, I dumped her, or whether it was mutual, but I'd freaking had enough. Okay, I saw her probably about 6 months to a year after when I was in a job or something, but yeah, they were together. And the time that we split, and to this day, I'm talking, this is more than 15 years back now, and I'm still freaking, I mean, I'm not raw about it, but it just does boil the blood when you think about it, because people have been freaking stupid. She was with him while she was with me for, I think it overlapped for about a week or two. But yeah, she was teasing me on how I'd like to fuck him and that. And it turns out that she did. In fact, that she's got kids with him now, that I found out. And I'm so glad I got out when I did. Really freaking glad. And look, the point of me telling that, the point of all these stories that I'm telling you, is that, okay, I haven't put so much into this as my uncle thing, because that was a much bigger thing for me in my life. But when you're subjected to something for any period of any amount of time, I'm not just talking a few days, a week, a month or something, I'm talking a prolonged amount of time, year at least, it does stuff to you. Even if the thing isn't really that bad compared to what most other people go through, it really does change you. And with the stuff that I went through with the uncle, with that added on it, it just puts your confidence down in yourself. I mean, there was other situations after this that give me a stammer. Over that now, for the most part, I still get it when I get really anxious. But what I'm saying is that when you're in a relationship, friendship, family, whatever, you really don't know the kind of damage you're doing until it's all done and over with. You really don't know what you're doing to a person. What you might think is fun, it's like, yeah, whatever. And there's going to be points where you kind of see the other person being uncomfortable, but even if the other person's going along with it, you could be insulting that person left, right, and centre. And with myself being self-detrimental, because I've had a lot of people who have had a relationship with me that have insulted me a lot. Girlfriends, boyfriends, friends alike. You kind of get used to it, which isn't a good thing. it really isn't a good thing, but you kind of get used to it. And that's when you get the trouble with it, then sometimes explodes and you get angry at the wrong people, and it keeps you up at night. And yeah, my only advice is, when you're in a bad relationship and you know it, even if you think you cannot go without this person, if that relationship is, dare I say it in this time, dare I say it in the current environment and the media and everything, but if if the relationship is toxic, the best thing you can do is get out. The whole cliche of there's better fish, there's plenty of fish in the sea and all the rest of that, it really is true. It was true for me. And even if you think, oh, no one else will ever get with me, trust me. And I've been there as well, where I've not been with someone for a very long time. Sometimes it's better, because when you do find the right person, it's all the sweeter, and you appreciate it so much more. So yeah. And I'm saying this to, if anyone is like, oh my god, my boyfriend's the best thing. I mean, he beats me up sometimes, but he's okay. He insults me, but he's okay. They just, I mean, I give him a load of money, but you know, it's the best that I got. The worst thing you can do to yourself is to treat yourself second class. You deserve better. And I mean that in a physical way, sexual way, emotional, mental, whatever way. But the second someone makes you doubt yourself, and I'm my own worst enemy because I'm still not following that advice, you need to either confront or get out. Or if you can't get out, you need to confront and then get out. But and there are still situations in my life right now where there are those who make me doubt myself. And if those people, not one person by the way, it's unfair to say, it really is, because there's more than one. If those people are listening right and watching this right now, you may not realise it, but you're actually doing more harm than good. And if you're insulting someone, making fun of someone, if you're shouting at someone, and you think, oh, they just need to toughen up, and they're too sensitive, sometimes tact goes a long way, to say the least. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. And, well, loads more to come. I gotta think about what I'm going to be saying next. So, all I gotta say is, at the end of the day, it gets dark.